I've never seen such an impressive man. To escape the city's hustle and bustle, he built a riverside hut using thousands of stones, made a clay fireplace to warm the interior, designed a filter system for his water needs, then fished with his homemade rods, achieving self-sufficiency even in the wild, living simply, yet incredibly well. Wang Defa, 28, moved outdoors when his wife got pregnant. After crossing a rushing river, he found a perfect cave for his home. He immediately cleared the area with a shovel. As a man with many wilderness properties, Defa was well versed in house building, so after leveling the ground, he gathered logs from the forest, carrying them back on his strong shoulders. He decided to build a bed first, ensuring rest while constructing. He cut the logs to suitable sizes, then chose the two thickest ones, placing them as supports on both sides, using two more logs as crossbeams, securing them with wooden pegs. Suddenly, heavy rain began to fall, bending nearby tree branches. Defa quickened his pace, laying short logs across the frame, securing them with more pegs, creating a sturdy single bed. As the rain stopped, Defa lit a fire to dry out and enjoy a warm nap. But when he awoke, it was already 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and because of the heavy rain, the water in the creek had become too muddy to drink. So to solve the drinking water problem, Defa was going to make a filter for himself. He first cut the bottom of the plastic bottle, used a clump of cotton to plug the bottleneck, then took some charcoal out of the fire pit, went to the river to dampen it with river water, and then put it into the plastic bottle. This charcoal has a strong adsorption power, which can help to filter the impurities in the water. Above the charcoal, there needs to be a layer of stones, and then a layer of river sand on top. This seemed very old-fashioned. I witnessed him filling the bottle with river water, placing a kettle underneath, and then just waiting for the water to slowly filter through. Taking advantage of this time, Defa went around and scavenged, collecting a bunch of wild fruits for himself. It was just enough to replenish his strength. After this, he boiled the filtered river water and brewed himself a cup of hot tea. It tasted surprisingly fragrant when consumed in this way. Once Defa had finished eating and drinking, he lay down on the bed and fell into a peaceful sleep. The next morning, he went around the neighborhood to collect a whole lot of big rocks, which he prepared to use to build a wall. However, the weight of the collected stones could not exceed 50 catties. Next, he went to the meadow by the river and dug up a pile of fresh clay. He added some river water to the clay and thoroughly mixed it, using a traditional method passed down through generations, resulting in a pile of naturally obtained clay. Considering that he was living alone this time, Defa didn't build a very big house. He first drew a reference line at the entrance of the cave and spread a layer of clay onto the floor, allowing him to use stone to start building it. Being a well-known jungler within a 10-mile radius, every stone used by Defa was carefully selected by him. As long as he got the angles right, he could ensure the walls he built were flat and straight. Once the walls reached a certain height, window positions should be preset on both sides to aid with light and ventilation in the room. As for the main door in the middle, the top could be covered with wooden planks, followed by piling up stones until it forms a rounded arc. Then they could start to build the roof. But first, he inserted 2 logs, secured them with clay, and made it a beam for the roof. He then added a slab of bamboo above the beam to form a curved frame, which could then be filled with logs. The middle of the log is also fixed with mud. You can get an airtight roof, and considering that it is now the rainy season, therefore, in order to improve the ability to prevent rain, the top of the log also needs to be covered with a film and wrapped in mud. With this very skillful plastering technique, if anyone said that the mud could not float on the wall, then Defa would definitely be the first to express his dissatisfaction. So when he was done, Defa came to the nearby meadow. From here, a whole bunch of weeds were collected. After carrying them back to the base, then bury the roots in the mud in turn. Although it is not too auspicious to prevent the grass from growing, the good thing is that they can enhance the gravitational pull between the mud and prevent them from sneaking away from home when it rains. As a man who pays great attention to details, Defa also made a special design for the doorway, first repairing and leveling the earth, and then using stones to build a fence around the edge, which can prevent rainwater from flowing to the door. As for the area beyond the foundation, Defa has built several stone slabs to form a stone road that rises step by step, so that it will be much easier for him to go out later. Then Defa came to the river again, and seeing that the turf here was very lush, he immediately began to dig with a shovel, and the dug-up turf could be brought back to the base and spread on the ground at the entrance in turn, which not only prevented the ground from being slippery, but also made them look more beautiful. Due to the heavy humidity on the mountain and the very large temperature difference between day and night, in order to prevent his own rheumatism, Defa also had to arrange a fireplace next to it, still piled up with stones and mud, so that it could be connected to the window on the left, because this is where the chimney is located. As for the main body of the chimney, Defa prepared to build it with rattan. He first inserted a few branches into the ground to form a cylindrical shape. Then, he took the rattan and wove it along the perimeter of the cylinder. As long as he remembered the simple rhyme, he could weave an impermeable cylinder. Defa then stuffed the cylinder into the hole and slowly applied mud until it covered the entire structure. This vertical design could provide better smoke extraction. After finishing, Defa lit some citrus wood in the fireplace. While testing the chimney's effectiveness, the heat could also quickly dry the surrounding soil. Considering the floor was still dirt, which would easily dirty his feet when it rained, Defa collected a bunch of pebbles, laid them on the ground, and leveled them with his hands. He also paved the stone path at the entrance, making it look beautiful and tidy. With that done, all that remained was the main door. As someone locked out by Luban, Defa planned to make a wooden door. He cut tree trunks into uniform lengths, then used a stick and machete to split each in half. Repeating this process, he turned the logs into thin planks, using a planer to smooth the edges. Defa then paired the planks, joined them together, and installed hinges on the sides to make 2 half-door panels. Those familiar with basic geometry know Defa was making a double door. He mounted the panels on either side of the door frame and added handles to each. This allowed the doors to open easily, and also serve as locks, an efficient 2-in-1 design. With the shelter complete, Defa rewarded himself with a hearty dinner. He tied a hook and line to a small bamboo pole, dug up some worms, and used his fishing skills to catch a good haul. He cleaned the fish, then roasted them in the fireplace until they were charred and fragrant. The small fish that didn't survive tasted the best. After eating, Defa stocked the fireplace with citrus wood, secured the doors and windows, and lay down on his bed, drifting off to a peaceful sleep.